County Daily News and the Door County Farm Bureau. Our Ask a Farmer segment continues this month, and we're not at a dairy farm. We're not at any kind of farm really, except for we're growing mushrooms right here, and we're joined by Mike Merritt from Door County Mushroom Company. And I guess tell us a little bit about your operation here, because as we mentioned, we've had cows, we've had corn, we've had all sorts of different plants here, but this is going to be more unique than any other farm I think we're going to go to during this segment.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for visiting the mushroom yard. Door County Mushroom Company. We are a small family-owned mushroom farm. We mostly grow shiitake mushrooms. Everything we grow is done on logs, as you can see behind me. We supply restaurants, and we're also at the Sturgeon Bay Farmers Market every Saturday from 8 to noon. And then in addition to growing mushrooms, producing mushrooms, we also have an educational component to our farm where we teach people how to grow mushrooms. Just in their own backyard, you can grow mushrooms. You don't need a whole lot of space to do it. And then in addition to the education, we have people come out for mushroom tours where you can pick your own mushrooms. So yeah, that's our operation.
Now, tell me how you got into mushroom farming, because obviously a lot of people, they drive up and down the highway, they see the dairy farms, they see pigs and things like that at the fair and things like that, so they go, oh, okay, I can fall in love with this. Or even if it's not animal agriculture, they see cornfields, they see apple orchards, they see other horticulture, things like that, and they go, yeah, I can do that. But how do you get into mushroom farming?
Well, mushroom farming is it's a unique endeavor. I started getting into mushrooms, like wild mushrooms, a couple years ago, and then I discovered you can grow mushrooms, and I just thought I'd give it a shot and see how far I could go with it. One of the beautiful things about mushroom farming is that you're in the shade when you're farming. You're not in the hot sun, so that's a big benefit of it. But yeah, I just like growing food and doing different unique things.
Now, is this something that you had a mentor to kind of help you, guide you along? Was this just going on the internet and finding some, reading material or some YouTube videos or something like that? Like, there must have been a whole big education process that went along with, what we see behind us and what you'll showcase to us here in just a little bit.
Yeah, nothing in particular that stands out, but it's a combination of books and YouTube videos. Field and Forest Products in Peshtigo, Wisconsin. They're one of the leaders. They've been doing it since the 1980s, I believe. They have a lot of educational material out there, and they're a Wisconsin-based company.
So you go from, I want to grow mushrooms to myself, to turning into a whole business endeavor where, you're supplying mushrooms to restaurants, you're bringing to the farmers market and stuff like that. What was that point like, or was there kind of a turning point when you said, hey, you know what, I can turn this from, something I like to do for myself and for my family to, hey, I can take this to the marketplace and bring it to other people?
Yeah, I mean, we just started small, because just as a little operation for ourselves, and then I don't know, nothing in particular, I just went for it, and instead of doing 10 logs one year, I did 300 logs, and I just went for it full blast, and just hope that it worked. And then there's not a whole lot of competition, so I liked our chances.
Now, I love the fact that there's an education component. Tell me a little bit about, what you do to kind of bring the community back here to learn a little bit more about what you do. You were telling me how people can actually buy logs from you, and then here they are, they're walking out of, whether it be here or from farmers market and stuff like that, with a log full of mushrooms, or a log that's ready to grow more mushrooms.
What was the question?
Tell me a little bit about that educational component that you try to showcase to people that maybe, hey, they want to do this in their own backyard.
Yeah, we just like the idea of the community coming in and learning things and learning how to grow their own food. So you can do different different techniques on growing on logs. You can grow in wood chips, and there's something for anybody depending on what kind of space you have. Yeah.
Now, you've been doing this for a few years now. What's been maybe the biggest thing that you've learned during the process, or now that you're 3 or 4 years in, you go to that first year and you go, man, I can't believe I ever thought that was a good idea?
I guess just learning how to space the logs out, log management, that's a big component of this, because you don't want to move your logs more than you have to. We have 500 logs here, so you just have to kind of think about the log movement and how you're managing them. So just thinking ahead a little bit is key in it.
Now, how easy is it for you to kind of market yourself when you go into restaurants or you go to the farmers market and kind of showcase the work that you do locally? I mean, that must make local businesses feel good, because there's a local mushroom grower in town that they can support rather than going outside for the mushrooms. So what do you do to kind of bring yourself into the marketplace and bring yourself into some of these restaurants and other places that you sold mushrooms?
The mushrooms kind of sell themselves. I haven't had to do too much marketing at all. I just reach out to a restaurant. They're pretty much open to it. Or restaurants reach out to me. I haven't had to do much of anything. Like, there's not many people doing it. So mushrooms are a big hit in restaurants right now. People are loving them. So
now, as we record this, drove past a couple of farms. Like right now, this is when people are harvesting their crops right now. They planted in, late April, early May. So you're looking at about 5 or 6 month season there, and they're finally getting that payoff now. What does that season look like for you as a mushroom farmer?
Well, the logs start the year before. You get your log in the wintertime when the tree is dormant. That's when you harvest your tree. You want a nice, healthy tree that's not diseased or anything. And so that's getting harvested over the winter time. And then in April is when you plant the log. You drill holes and plant it. And then the following year, you have to wait for 1 year till the next May. And that's when you start to get mushrooms off that log. And then that year you can get mushrooms off of it 2 harvests per year.
Okay.
Going forward. And then those logs last for 5 years. So it's a pretty good return on your investment. After planting once, you get 5 years of production.
And how many mushrooms would you say that you can get per log?
Per log, you get about 1 pound of mushrooms per year.
Okay, gotcha. And as we record this, you just said that you harvested about 8 pounds, I think is what you said. Now, what I'll have you do is, we actually have one of your logs here. So Mike, I'll have you grab that now, and you can kind of showcase it for the people watching what this looks like. So tell us what we're looking at here, because you were saying that you actually soaked the logs in. We have a tub behind us that you put these logs in, you submerge them in there, and then what people can already see is that you kind of have some bigger limbs that you lean the logs up against. So take it from there, what people are seeing right now.
Okay, so this is a standard size mushroom log. So like I was saying, in April time frame is when we inoculate the log. So I don't know if they can pick it up on the camera, but these holes right here, these are what we drill. We drill about 40 to 60 holes per log. And then we fill them with mushroom spawn, which is like a mushroom seed. You can think of it as, it's the mycelium. That mycelium over that next year is going to grow throughout the hole that you put it in. And it takes about a year to grow through the whole log. And then that following year is when you get mushrooms. So this log was soaked for 24 hours like 6 days ago, and you're already getting mushrooms off of it. And then we can soak it twice. So this is what it looks like for one harvest. It's about 1/3 of a pound of mushrooms.
And you have how many logs up? 300 logs all around back here?
We have 500 in production, and then 300 more that are going to be coming into production next year.
Okay, gotcha. Now, the really cool thing with this is that, once again, with other forms of agriculture, it takes hundreds, if not thousands of acres to kind of get started here. This is kind of a unique form of agriculture here that, maybe a quarter acre, a half acre is what you need? I mean, obviously you got to truck in the wood and stuff, and you have some like wash basins and stuff over here and stuff like that. But this is something that, you know, if people ever say, I want to get into agriculture, but I don't have the capital or I don't have the room to do it. I mean, this seems like a relatively condensed way of doing what you need to do and kind of pursuing a passion at the same time.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't take much space. So even a backyard grower, you can get a lot of mushrooms off of a little space. Really only 8 logs like this is all you need, and you can have mushrooms for 16 weeks throughout the summer months.
And when it came to kind of pursuing this and going through, you know, year after year and stuff like that, how much pride do you kind of take in the fact that you're able to kind of get this off the ground, start a business and things like that, and providing a food that, you know, maybe people want to know where mushrooms come from. They don't know, but now, you know, they just have to travel a little bit outside of downtown Sturgeon Bay and they can find it.
Yeah, it's cool to see people that visit the farm and they're kind of in wonder when they see the mushrooms like on 50 logs like this at one time. I know the first time I saw it, it was pretty amazing. So yeah, it's a good feeling to know that people like what you're doing.
Now, you do the farmers market, which is a great way to kind of meet those customers face to face and stuff like that. What are some of the questions that they come up to you? Because I'm sure you don't get tired of seeing people like me come back here and looking around like, oh, this is what a mushroom farm looks like.
Yeah, the questions that I get are usually the silly ones on magic mushrooms. Well,
I mean, these are magic mushrooms. They just happen to make dishes taste delicious. Exactly. That's all.
Every mushroom is magical. So yeah, it's you know, are these poisonous? What are they good for? How do you cook them? You know, all sorts of questions you get. Where are you located?
Now, you do shiitake mushrooms. I know every year for Christmas, I get a box where I grow the white button mushrooms, where you got like the plastic bag and you tie it off and then you let it open. It kind of does its things and stuff like that. Are there other mushrooms that you can grow on logs like this? And have you kind of explored that, or are you just kind of a one mushroom type of guy right now?
Yeah, we have other mushrooms that we grow here, but it's just a lot. So shiitake is the main highest percentage of mushrooms that we grow because you can grow them consistently every week.
Yep.
The oyster mushrooms and the chestnut mushrooms, the lion's mane, those grow based on nature and how nature tells them when it's time to grow. So yeah, we have other mushrooms for sure, and you can grow. And I teach people how to grow all of those.
Gotcha. Now, tell us a little bit about that, because you have mushroom classes and you kind of also walk people through at the beginning of your season in April and kind of talking through the process. If people want to find you in that capacity and be like, you know what, I wouldn't mind talking to Mike about how to grow mushrooms in my own backyard. How do they do that? Where do they find you?
I guess farmers market is the best way to talk to me, but on the off season, Facebook or Instagram, you can Google me. I'm on Google Business, and my number's on there. My email is on there. So yeah, just get a hold of me and send me your email address. And in February, March, that's when I start scheduling the classes. So yeah.
Now, when you grow this many mushrooms, I'm sure that every now and then you have to be like, okay, I need to have a dish with my product, with my harvest here. What's kind of your go-to dish where mushrooms are kind of the highlight of the meal?
I mean, we like to make pizza here, so we throw them on pizzas. But I guess I always just keep it simple with eggs. Throw them in eggs in an omelet. You don't have to make it complicated or anything. Just I just work them into my meals, you know, when I can. You know, there's tons of ways to do it, but I just keep it simple and throw it in my omelet.
And then if you go out to eat at some of your customers and they use mushrooms and stuff, who uses your mushrooms the best?
I don't know if I'd say anyone is the best. But yeah, a lot of the pizza places are using them on their, you know, obviously on their pizzas. And then, so Elmo's Pizza, they have them. The Noshery, they use them in some of their breakfast things, and then inland, up in Bailey's Harbor, they use them as well. So.
Well, very good. Well, once again, Mike, thank you so much for having us here, and thank you for showcasing your mushroom farm here. And just one more time before we let you go, if people want to find you, Sturgeon Bay Farmers Market, we got 2 more weeks as we record this here.
Yeah.
But where are those other places or things that we need to know if we want to contact you and contact Door County Mushroom Company?
Yeah, find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram. You can find me on Google, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mike Merritt from Door County Mushroom Company for another Ask a Farmer segment. This segment brought to you by our friends at Door County Farm Bureau, cultivating the future of agriculture. Certainly, we're finding the future of agriculture right here in Sturgeon Bay. For Mike, I'm Tim Coles, and this has been another Ask a Farmer with the Door County Farmers Bureau from Door County Media Group and the Door County Daily News.